Welcome back. Welcome back to There's an I in Marriage podcast with Nick and Kayla. Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Don't she look different? We've been joking about this. Please don't. We she's the same person, y'all. Listen. No, this episode, first of all, thank you for everyone that's been tuning in. Pray your week has been great. I hope those who have been purchasing the book have been enjoying the book. If you have some gems you want to share with people, please drop them in the comments, because we really hope that people understand that we all have journeys. This is not about us just talking about how to get dating right, and for you to feel like, man, they're just light years away. We're not perfect people. I've been through some stuff, and I'm actually about to share a lot with y'all. And what we really want to just say that everybody has a story. Everybody has a starting place. And so if you start now and start getting the gems now, God can work in you. God could get you on path for relationship and dating and marriage and all of that. And just have faith. You got to, look beyond what you see? Yes. I try to get these things right. But no, for real, look beyond what you see, because wherever you are right now, it's not your end point. And this is going to be a testimony story time for me. Bear with me, because I'm not the greatest storyteller. Sometimes I get on tangents. Sometimes there's information that I feel like is important, and y'all be like, no, that wasn't important. So without further ado, what we want to talk about today is my abstinence story. Also, this was inspired by a couple other things, so we might get to that in this video. Is one person at our brand launch event. Shout out to everyone that came. But the person that came to our brand launch event said we should talk about temptations. And I know a lot about temptations. And another part was inspired by the video that we had dropped. I don't know when this is going to come out, but it's on soul ties. And so we kind of briefly talked about this stuff that I'm about to talk about. But like I said, I done bumped my head a lot of times in my life. So things I might talk about might be uncomfortable. This is very real and raw to my story. What we said in our book and what I have told my wife is that sometimes you have parts of your story that you wish you can erase, but it's a part of your movie. And you have to live with the fact that it's in your movie and you can't take it back. And so my abstinence journey started after my last relationship, but there was a deeper part in my relationship that made me realize how serious relationships were. And we grow up in church, and they say you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. And for me, even though I was preached that, I didn't understand why. I want to ask y'all, besides the obvious parts where it's like having sex before marriage could lead to pregnancy, lead to STDs potentially, or just what do you know in your own heart that makes you want to wait outside of just because someone told you to? You know what I mean? So I didn't really feel that strongly about it until after my last relationship. And like I said, I learned a lesson during my relationship. So the lesson I learned was soul ties are very real. And why that happened is because before I got in my last relationship, I had been with another girl. I had been with multiple girls, but there was one woman in particular that during my last relationship had gotten into a relationship. I had found out about that relationship. I wasn't jealous, but it still had a hold on me.
It affected you in some way.
Most definitely. It just to paint a picture of where I was when I got the news. I was at home in my apartment at the time, different apartment, and when I got the news, I ended up sitting in my bathroom, thinking about how I felt, and it took me a while to process that. And at the same time, my ex was trying to communicate with me, but could tell that my energy was different.
Was she there?
She,
or text?
It was just through text
Through
message.
text, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell a vibe through a text for sure.
Yes. And so I eventually broke down and told her what happened. And she was a little bit confused, but I told her, and I got to a point where I realized, okay, and this may sound kind of off because I don't want to put God in a situation where it, I was still being disobedient when it comes to using my body in the relationship. But because I had moved on and moved into this relationship, there must have been a better reason why I chose this relationship than the last, than to be with the other person.
When everybody say there's a reason for everything, you were trying to find a reason.
Yes, and I had to sit there and say, you know what, that person didn't serve me the way that I had wished at the time. And it's not like I wanted something from her, but I thought about a relationship with her, but I didn't get it. And then I realized, because she hadn't moved on to that person right away, it was just over time she just never became the person that I wanted her to be, and I made my move to move on. So if that made sense, I moved on, and then months later it came up.
Yeah.
And so when I sat there, I was like, okay, that didn't work because it didn't work. And so then I found peace in that. I felt a little bit of healing even in that moment, because it's like I made the choice that I thought was actually right at the time. And so, but it taught me that how strong that soul tie was. I cannot put myself in a situation again where I'm thinking about someone else when I'm with someone. And that's how serious sex and dating is. And I know we talk about this on TV, or like you see it on Twitter or something. You're dating someone and then you're still thinking about someone else, and you know that's a fear for some people, because when you're dating and you're trying to do it the pure way, you don't know who you're bumping into that still has feelings for someone that's in the past. And so I had to reflect on myself, like, no, I can't do this anymore. And so I finished. It sounds bad. I cared about the person. I cared about my relationship at the time, but I finished out that relationship knowing that I made a strong decision about how I wanted to love the person forward. I was serious about it. And then when I left that relationship, I realized how strong those soul ties were. I said, I need to back off. I need to heal. I need to put my mind in the right place, because I cannot put someone else in that predicament anymore.
In the last relationship.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
I cannot string somebody along with sex. I cannot start a relationship with sex. I had watched Transformation Church to give even more context. Towards the end of my relationship, it was some sermons on relationship goals. I think we talked about it before, but there's this one last episode which I highly encourage everyone to watch. Like, if you don't watch nothing else, watch that one. We say that a lot, but this one I'm serious. And it's talking about, how did you start the relationship? Was it with sex, or did you really do it the right way and try? and try to get to know the person for real. And I realized that I jumped into relationships with sex. And so after that, I wanted to be abstinent. I wanted to be sure for sure. And so in my abstinence journey, like I said, there was going to be some uncomfortable conversations. I'm being very real because I think some people may be even in this space themselves. I did talk to other women, but I still had needs and desires, right? And this actually started long before then. I've been a person that had watched porn since like middle school, and so I focused myself on wanting a relationship, not wanting to be involved. But if I'm being honest, like I still had needs, but I knew that I didn't want to put anybody else in the same position that I just did with these soul ties. So I'm not encouraging people to watch it at all, but I am saying that one, I'm saying this because God loves you still. I'm saying that because if you are that type of person that has to have these holds on yourself, or you just feel like I have to do something, and you get weak, God still loves you. Especially if you, I don't want to twist this, but I want you to understand that if you care about other people more than you care about your own needs, then God understands that. And so
And he'll forgive you as long as you do want to grow from it and move from it.
absolutely,
You change.
absolutely. So again, don't go out here hurting God's people. That's my message. I'm not saying watch porn. I want you to go to God, and I want you to say, God, I don't want to hurt God. I don't want to hurt your people. I don't want to dibble and dabble in dating, hurting them. I don't want to do that, and that's where my heart was. That's where my heart was. So I said that just to say that, so I can paint a picture of who I was and where I was. And so as I'm actually talking to other girls, just trying to get to know them, I'm not pressing sex or anything, I realized that I didn't have boundaries from before. I would let women be all up in my house, be all up in other places. But over time, I realized how much important what peace was, having peace. And so to give more story, there was a time where there was a girl in my room, and then I realized the relationship wasn't going the way it needed to go. So I was like, you know what, take you and be out my room. Don't even come to my house. I didn't say it out loud, but I said it in my heart. I can't handle this. I can't do this. I can't share this space
You know what you're
with.
capable of.
Yes. And she had a lot of things going where I just couldn't handle her because of where she was at. It's not that she's a bad person or anything. She just had life happen to her.
Life.
Yes. And so I ended that one, and there was a point where it was a random night basically. I was DJing, and there was a girl that I knew for a while, and I invited her to come over, and we almost had sex on my couch.
This is when you were still abstinent,
When I was
working it through.
Yes. And this is where I knew I was in it for real. God tapped me on the shoulder while we was kissing, and it's like, you can't do that.
Like you felt it.
I felt it. I felt it. And she kind of felt the energy too, and I was like, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Mid motion, I can't do this. She left, and then the next day I was like, I'm sorry, but I really want to stand 10 toes on it, basically, like summarizing. And I I am dating for marriage, not just trying to have some fun. If you want me, if you want, I would love to get to know you, um, have some real conversations, and see where things go.
That's beautiful.
Thank
Mm.
you.
Yeah.
That's God. That was God really just you know being real with me. Like, now you know where this is gonna go.
And you'll go back down the path you didn't want to be down.
Absolutely. You know that she don't know who you are. You don't know who she is. You don't know where she's going with it. And even if it's fun, like, at some point you're gonna have a real conversation because you want marriage. You feel like you've been watching all these sermons. You've been trying to figure
This is
out
what you want.
how to do it. If you really want to do it, you got to do it my way. And I had to.
That's the only way.
Mhm.
If you don't do it God's way, it's gonna be a lot harder than it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Because imagine if you actually had sex with a girl, what could have happened? Maybe pregnancy, disease, we don't know, or lifelong of just emotional or physical abuse. We don't know.
Because what happened in my past, and you can read one of my other books. It's called "Been There, Done That." I bumped my head a lot, y'all. I bumped my head a lot, but in that particular situation, looking back, how it played out was we've been hanging out. She'd been at my place. I'd been at her place. We've been having sex, and then, I wouldn't have realized who she was as a person. And I'm not judging her, but she's a little bit younger and may not have really known life the way that I needed her to know life.
And you were older. Yeah, wow. So yeah, that wouldn't have been a good mix at all, especially if she was in a different space in her life. Like, and again, it's no judgment. It's just some people are in different spaces in their lives.
Like, I was working on my credit. I was trying to pay bills on time, and I'm not saying like
You were an adult.
I
You were adulting.
I was adulting. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, when you take yourself serious, the risks of just doing things to have fun, you kind of like, I don't,
It's not working.
I can't pair myself with someone that could jeopardize everything that I've worked on. And so I want to pause and just like clap my hands to people that are really like in that grind mode. I know we say that a lot on social media. Like, I'm just trying to get to the bag. I'm just trying to get myself together. I'm just trying to and good. I'm glad you are. Like, and keep going. But if you really want to be married, please don't leave out God. Like,
If you want to achieve anything, don't leave him out.
absolutely. But I think I guess what I'm saying is I see you achieving.
Okay.
And so don't minimize your accomplishments. Yes, I'm glad you got your 700 credit score. I'm glad you got your new car. I'm glad you got your apartment or your new house and stuff like that. Like don't let that be small to what we put in society as marriage being the big thing. No, I'm glad you're doing that. You're learning good discipline, like in taking care of business and stuff like that. And a good husband, a good wife would love to be paired with someone who has that type of discipline. Like, I appreciate you because you are such a disciplined person. Like, you have fun, but like, that sometimes, okay, let's get this stuff together. We got look, babe, where's the tax papers? We need to submit the taxes. like you are that. And so if you're in that space right now where you're getting yourself together, or you have felt like you got yourself together, good, because you need to know yourself. You need to know what it's like to take care of business, and then someone can look at you and be like, oh, you're actually responsible. Oh, you're actually a nice person. Like, I pray you have a great character. I don't know you on the other side of this camera, but I hope you have a great character, on top of all the accomplishments you have. But somebody should be able to see that and be like, yes, I can work with that. I can lay up and pay bills, and I could put a ring on it. I could put a ring on that. Let me be more clear.
And we can grow together.
I could put a ring on that. Okay, so yeah, I know I did all that storytelling, but I say all of that because by the time I met you, I didn't even want you in my room.
Yeah, you said that in the first episode.
Yes, because
But now you see why.
yes, soul ties are very real. It's a slippery slope. No, I think we say don't have sex until marriage, and just say it so simply, but like tell people how much that it's a slippery slope from where God wants you to be, and you will want to pair yourself with someone because of sex, because sex is it's supposed to be addicting. Actually,
It's a good thing.
it's a great thing. Marriage is supposed to be full of it, and it is. But
like
when you're with someone that you don't know, that you don't know where this is gonna go, you don't know how long you're gonna be thinking. Like like a soul tie, essentially is someone that whether you even had sex or not, you started planning your life around that person. And you get to a point where you are so tied up into that person that you don't realize what you got going on, where you need to be, what you need to be doing, where God is calling you to be. You have submitted everything into that soul tie.
God didn't even tell you
No.
that you gonna be with them for the rest of your life.
No, yeah, you don't know.
You don't know.
And that's why we also push to ask questions. Ask questions. Like, where are you going to live? What job do you want to have? What is your credit score? Like, I know Jerry Flowers says that all the time in some of his videos. I go watch him too, Pastor Jerry Flowers. Look him up on YouTube. He has a lot of content about how to date and who to find to date. And I say this for people that really just feel like, I don't even know, like, who am I supposed to be with? Like, he's got some answers. We gonna have to keep telling you some answers too, but like he got some hot and ready.
I'ma always say go to God, cause like, and if we're being honest, like, not everybody is supposed to be married. Not everybody is supposed to be with somebody. Somebody is supposed to be solely devoted to God, so that way they can free somebody else for maybe the same purpose or maybe for another purpose. But like, when you go to God and consult with Him, you have to surrender. You have to be so willing to understand His will for your life that sometimes it's gonna hurt. Some things like you don't want to do, or some things you're like, God, I can't, I don't want to do that. But it's like, I have better for you. And then I mean, if it makes anybody feel better, if you ain't married and you a little older, one, don't give up. I mean, unless God is telling you, don't seek it right now. But when we go to heaven, we're not going to be married. We're going to be solely God's. So, but other than that, like, put God first. Like, and He'll show you.
Absolutely.
He'll show you everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's my abstinence journey. That's a thing on soul ties. And I had some parts. Did you have something to say?
No, I was going to ask you, because you talked about temptation.
That's where I was going to go.
What temptations did you have when you were going through? I know you talked about the one girl. That was a temptation. Any other ones that you were like, hold up, this ain't, let me find a way out?
During abstinence or just in general? Because I had some general stuff I wanted to say.
In general, then.
Well, I would say the biggest part of temptations is feeling like you're missing out. Let me backtrack on who I was, kind of like me growing up. I don't know if I've said it before, but like in middle school, when you start seeing women develop and you starting to have feelings for women, you're like, oh wow, I like you. But because of my stature back then, I was shorter, and I guess I wouldn't call myself a popular kid at the time. I got looked over. I didn't know how to talk to women at the time. I didn't have a father figure around to really tell me how to talk to women, especially when it comes to dating at that. And so I started carrying this hopeless romantic energy. And it, I, I can see myself having that fear of missing out. And as I kept getting older, even in college, that's when I started seeing how other people moved, and I did learn how to talk to people and stuff. But by the time I experienced sex, like that grew exponentially because that girl's cute, and I'm single. I'm just mingling. I'm just doing whatever. That girl's cute. Let me get on that. That girl's cute. Let me get on that. That girl's cute. And I'm saying that out loud as a man because I think men don't realize how often we say that girl's fine, that girl's
and then
sexy.
Boom, they think they gotta act on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And women
Gotta tame that.
Women can do that too. I know,
but women would more so do it emotionally, and men would do it like just because it's what you
see it, you attract
it. Yeah, you're speaking it out, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I need to do something. No, you don't.
And it comes from a high school mentality too. Like when you're in high school or you watch these high school movies and stuff, they're like, oh, you need to go get the girl. Like that's always the message. Like go get the girl.
Even if it's a good movie, like it's not a villain type of movie or a bad guy, but it's like the one she friend zoned, go get her. Like it's always go get her.
Yeah.
It's like no. It shouldn't have always been like that.
Dating is one. Let me even start by saying this. God knows who you're supposed to be with, and so we always say Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything shall be added unto you. And so I finally got to a point, and I talked about my Orlando trip, and I think there might have been a moment too prior, like when I was, actually it was right when I was about to talk to you. I got to a point where I realized I can talk to a lot of women. Like I'm talking to women is not a problem for me anymore. I don't want to dibble and dabble in anything and everything. Lord, next person I talk to, like, I'm not saying this as an ultimatum. I'm saying this because I have peace in myself now. I don't want to talk to anyone. So if I am going to talk to someone, I hope it's someone valuable because I don't have energy for it anymore. And so God knew that. And when I met you, I knew that I was going to talk to somebody good. I'm not saying that, just so that everybody can practice. I'm saying it to practice it, but I'm not saying that you're going to score the first time.
That's where you were.
Yes.
That's where you were.
That's where I
your
was.
Story.
Yes.
And hoping to free somebody else through this story. What I can hear is, this is what I found that were hurdles throughout my journey in life on the way to marriage. If God told you were going to be married, like, your journey might look different compared to his. What I'm hearing though is, find out what the issue is with you, not with other people. Find out, okay, like you said, if you wanted to erase the soul ties, then people, they can't be in your room. They can't be in your house. You had to clean house for you. For somebody else, it might be deleting numbers. You never let nobody in your house, but you went to theirs. You need to delete them numbers, delete them IG accounts, delete it all, delete the pictures. For somebody else, it might, it might be something different. For you, it was, you said your problem was not talking to women. For somebody, it might be they can't talk to women or they can't talk to men. Like, that might be the issue. So it's like, I hope that nobody's listening and taking you and being like, let me use his steps, because we all are uniquely made. We are all originals, and God has a story for everybody, and it will not look the same.
But please don't act on the fear of missing out either.
Right, exactly.
God has something for you.
Be patient.
So let him tell you where you need to walk, what new places you might need to go. You're talking about, you may have trouble talking to men or talking to women. Are you in the spaces where you need to be to have comfortable conversations?
Comfortable conversations, because you could be in a library. You could be in a coffee shop.
Because somebody at the bar or club may not.
They don't
have the conversation you want to have.
They might not have the greatest intentions. Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about there. So I guess I did have something that from there. Be clear with God.
Oh yeah, that's biblical.
I mean, I know we say I want him to be 6'2", and I want him to have a beard. That connects.
Yeah, that's too much.
That connects.
That is.
And he got.
That's wild.
And he better be making $100,000 a year plus, and no, not that type of clarity. I mean, it can happen for you, but when I say I was clear about being friends with someone, I really wanted real friendship, not just be able to post some pictures and look cute. This girl like Marvel now, a lot.
I like football now.
You
too.
like football.
I'm
now.
at work. I'm like, y'all watch the NFL honors and huddle. Everybody was like, no. I was like, dang.
That's crazy. That just happened. And you were so excited because it was fun. It was cool.
I knew who the people were.
Yeah. So
it was kind of cool, but nobody, even the guys, they looked at me like, what? I was like, nothing. Started asking my patients.
The guys didn't even know that. Jesus, what kind of place you work in? I'm kidding.
That's funny.
But no, be real. Be clear about who you are and what you need. I knew I wanted someone that appreciated football and appreciated the fact that I like Spider-Man and Marvel and appreciate that I like pizza and lo and behold,
somebody love it just as much as you.
Yes, and it wasn't always the physical feature. Now you fine. Don't get it twisted. I when I saw you on the first date and I looked down and the shorts was shortened, I can't say too much, but I knew. I was like,
they weren't no mini shorts. They was just regular shorts.
Well, she looked thick that day. Look, I can tell that story later. I did already talk about the fact that you're not going to be perfect. So if you make mistakes, if what people call sin, and you did it, just get back up. Talk to God and say, hey, my bad. What do I need to do from here?
How do I get delivered from this?
What do I do from here? Because that goes back to, you might need to delete some numbers. You might need to have some conversations. You need to
have somebody hold you accountable.
One thing about our relationship was our dating relationship wasn't even perfect. I'm not even gonna say that. Like, I don't want people to sit here and think, oh, they're the holiest of holiest. And I'm not saying we sinners either, but we all are sinners. Okay? So what I'm saying is, we held ourselves accountable. We said, look, we're gonna wait till marriage. We want to be sure that we're going to be married. I said I was going to marry you early on.
We talked about it in the book already. We definitely were like, well, when we found out we couldn't wait no more, we had to come to terms. I think God just wanted us to be like, be real, be honest with me, just be honest. And when we were finally verbally honest with him, and then with our counselor, it was like, he was like, y'all are ready, go ahead. We got married right in this living room.
We did. And that's coming up soon. Hey.
It is.
Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was being aware of traumas. This whole conversation has probably gotten you to realize that, like, you can be traumatized from different things, just from dating.
Just from dating.
And I speak to those that are already aware that they're traumatized, those that are very afraid to talk to someone else or to let alone try to even get married, because some people are like, ain't for me. I ain't gonna do it. And I feel you. I deeply feel you. One thing I've learned about God and the Ten Commandments and so many other things in the Bible, Proverbs even, is that life, they were trying to warn us about traumas that could happen if you do these things. So when you think of the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not kill, you're causing trauma to someone and someone else's family and so on and so forth, and it's a ripple effect. So not to go down the rabbit hole, but what places do you put yourself in that could bring you trauma? Like, yeah, you like going to the club, but trying to talk to people in the club, and I'm not hating on the club. I'm a DJ. I think a club is an amazing place if you love music, you love to dance however you want to dance, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, causing any troubles. But if you know that you drink a little too much, or you get high on something and you make decisions that you ain't supposed to, and I'm gonna let you say that, talk to God about that, because I'm not judging you. I've been there. I've been a part of a frat. I know what kickbacks can look like and get to if you're not held accountable, if you're not holding yourself accountable. I know what it's like to, even be on a college campus. You just
walking around.
just walking around.
Just walking around.
Just see something, be like, okay, all right. But you needed to be in the library studying with your head down, boy.
But you was looking for something to do. And I think isn't it? I don't know, but when you look for something, you gonna find it.
Look and you shall find. I mean, look, seek ye first the kingdom of God, but seek ye something else, you gonna find something else. And that's what we mean. Like, I mean, we're not condemning you to say you gotta always have your mind on God, but like, if you know your mind is somewhere else and it
it's
ain't
not safe, you should probably put it on God.
Absolutely.
You should put it on the man upstairs. Yeah.
I would even add, listening to certain type of music all the time. Now, like I said, I'm a DJ. Music is a vibe.
And I've definitely learned for myself, like, music hasn't influenced me the way certain people do. Like, some music I'll be like, I don't like what you said, and then there's some music where I'm like, the beat is nice, like it's flowing well, but also, like, I don't allow it to get into my head. Like, if somebody's talking about a breakup and, like, you'll never find nobody better, it's like, if the beat is nice, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say this is an awful song, you turn it off, it's secular, blah, blah, blah. But, like, for me, I never allowed music to influence the way I live. But some people have been a victim of that.
Hop in the car and the music got to be on as soon as you hop in. And
and everybody's journey is so different. And that's what I've learned. Everybody's journey is so different. Like, music that I can listen to, there's some people who can't listen to that because of what they've been through, what they've seen, how they've allowed it to, how it seeped into their life. I'm not going to say how they've allowed it, but how it seeped into their life and it became an idol. Like, God
did say, watch out what you idolize.
People, like, literally love concerts. They love doing these things. And when they like, oh, when I see a celebrity, I'm going to go crazy. I don't feel that way. I've never really felt that way when I saw a celebrity, or if I even see a celebrity to this day, I'm not going to run across the street and be like, oh my God, like, that's a regular person. They bleed like I bleed. Money that they touch, I've probably touched, not saying the amount,
okay,
but I've touched money too. Like, it's it's. And then when people meet them, they always like, oh, they aren't as nice as they seem on TV, and da, da, da. And I'm just like, well,
you came with some interesting energy, maybe. I'm sorry.
Maybe, but even still, like, they're regular people. I think they're allowed to be a little upset.
Absolutely.
Or I think they're allowed. I mean,
they have a bad day.
They have a bad day, or they just trying to get home. Like, I mean, we don't know. We don't know, but.
And TV, Netflix, different types of movies. Yes, they're fun. They're fine to watch sometimes, but when you see a movie or something that you ain't supposed to, and it's like, oh yeah, nah, I gotta
turn this off.
Yeah. You know.
Same for me. Like Facebook has been a bad place for me to be.
Yeah.
Like it was some crazy stuff people was just showing, and I'm like, Lord, let me get off of here. Like I had to
Willy nilly
not
on
interested.
Facebook. Oh, Willy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Willy and Nilly
I
on
had
Facebook.
to. Facebook is.
So here's a quick equation. I know we don't like math, and I threw some letters in here too, so I know you really don't like it. But this is gonna be real easy to understand. Fear of missing out, right? We talked about that. That FOMO. Okay, that's the acronym FOMO. Heat of the moment. I made that HOTM. Heat of the moment. So when you add your fear of missing out and you're given opportunity in the heat of the moment to do something, it 99.9% is a bad decision.
Equals bad decision.
It equals a bad decision. And
That's good.
And I say that because if you're pressuring yourself to make a decision right now about something or someone, and you don't have peace from it, you don't have confirmation from God, you didn't go to God first about it, and no, going to God first about having sex with someone is not going to God about it.
That's not. Yeah,
I just want to clarify that too.
He's gonna tell you know the answer to that.
No. But if you feel like you're gonna be missing out on someone, and you feel like you got to make a decision right there and now, that's probably not the way to go. If anything, just say, I'm interested in you. Let's take things slow.
And you'll never miss out on something that is meant for you.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything will be added to you. So I came up with another equation, all right? This one is just regular words. I put Matthew 6:33. That's number one. But you add that with patience. And you add that with respect. Because people don't know what respect is nowadays. You add those things together. Those three things together. Matthew 6:33, patience and respect. You will get healthy dating or marriage and marriage. You will get that. Yeah. I try to do a little
That's
something.
good, babe.
Yes. And another step that you can take too, if you're feeling temptations, this might be a time where God is telling you to boss up. God is telling you to step up in different areas, take on a little bit more responsibility on things. Make you stronger, wiser, more mature. Don't take on things that God didn't ask you to handle. But if tackling your credit score is something that God is trying to talk to you about,
and you constantly being tempted to buy a new car or buy new stuff.
Or go out with a girl that is going to waste your time. Or man.
Yeah. You got to
go. I'm not saying you have to start a business. Not everybody's called to be a business owner. But find something that's purposeful.
Keep your hands busy doing something. I read that in Ephesians.
Absolutely.
If you're a thief, stop stealing and find something good to do with your hands, like servicing and help and giving back to the needy.
You know what? I'm gonna put it this way, because I know we always talk about people having businesses or doing really good at their work. For me, with you were still in college, but when I was getting to know you, you were very serious about like your studying.
Oh, I ain't play about nursing.
Nursing school.
I ain't play about that.
She made sure you had time for me, but you made sure you had time for nursing. And I saw that was actually a bit of a turn on. I'm not saying like that, like some people we really got to be able to look at somebody's gifts. I know we talk about celebrities and they're just, oh my gosh, they're amazing. They have gifts, and that's what draws us to them. If they didn't have the gift, you wouldn't even know who they are. So, but for on a ground level, you got to be able to see the gift in someone else. And I saw that in you, and I was like, oh, she gonna be a good nurse. She gonna make some money, and we gonna be all right. We gonna be all, and we are like, but like,
Yeah.
but we get so caught up on like looks and
Whole
how
time, are they good at anything?
we
Yeah.
popping
What are they
balloons
doing?
because they can't dress.
Oh man, that's tough.
Should I leave that show out of this episode?
Yeah, leave it out. Leave it out. 'Cause we'll go on a
Yeah,
tangent. Leave
come
it
on.
out.
I know, but this is what we mean. Like, please, like, spend some time with God and what your gift is. And then when you are dating, do activities in the daylight around people. Don't. I mean, the obvious is Netflix and chill, and I'm not. And
But you put yourself in that temptation.
you do. I mean, I. As the master of Netflix and chill is telling you.
Oh my God, master, the ex-master.
The X-Man. Look, you have a good time when we watching movies over here. Leave me
out of it.
We make some pizza. We drink. We have some nice poppy drinks. And you be looking at me. I be looking at you. Be like, hey, how you doing?
Leave me out of this.
You do that in marriage. That's my point. You do it in marriage. Don't do it in the dating. Don't go get coffee. Especially early on dating. Like don't
Meet
make
in
it.
daylight. It makes sense.
Just
Me for lunch.
meet for lunch.
It makes it easier.
And don't make lunch hard.
Yeah,
If you like tacos, go get
go get
tacos.
tacos.
Go get pizza. Go get
Get something simple.
Panda Express, Chinese food, whatever. Just
Keep the menu simple. Just get
Please.
something simple. Yeah.
get to know them. And
It's not about the food.
and as you're progressing in dating, yes, you're gonna get closer. Yes, you're gonna want to do stuff. Yes, we've been there. But don't do anything. And I'm not saying as soon as you trust them, then it's all green light. No. I'm saying is make sure that this is someone that you are serious about marrying. And then you progressively. I watched the sermon. I've said this probably before, but I have a link of a whole bunch of sermons in a YouTube playlist, and I would love to share that. If y'all really want to,
It's on our Instagram.
it's on our Instagram. Good.
Yep.
Anyways, Matthew Stevenson, I believe is the pastor. He talked about how dating is like how you should take care of your house, essentially. So you don't. If you're really good at taking care of your house, you greet people on the porch, and then you progressively bring them into the spaces of your life. And he has a better explanation. I'm just trying to summarize, but you don't start dating in the bedroom. He made that very, very clear. And so when we talk about dating in public spaces, do that so that you're not so quick for intimacy, because you don't know what you're bringing into your house. You don't know what's going to get messed up in your house. And then he has a good explanation on good timing on when to bring people closer and closer to you until you get to marriage. So I hope that all of this is an explanation on why you need to take it slow. I know we love to say, I'm going to make you fall in love in 3 days. No.
You do that, that's witchcraft.
Basically, like, but for real, like, that should not be your goal, to try to entrance someone to love you. Yes, you're beautiful outside, and inside you might need a little bit of work. We all do, but like, please don't think that someone is gonna just be ready to give up their whole life for you in 3 days. I don't know you. I'm sorry, I don't know you, and I want to be your friend. I don't know if you're going to tell me a lie tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to tell me a lie next week. I don't know if you're going to tell me a lie in 2 seconds. I don't know you. I don't trust you yet. I know I sound hurt, but like I'm speaking for people.
That's
I hope
boundaries.
it's boundaries.
Jesus did that.
Absolutely. And I know, so I guess what we're saying is all of these things are very real and serious, because we make it a joke. We want to instantly be married tomorrow, and all of our problems are solved. No, life is a marathon.
You're growing with someone. You're growing yourself, and you're growing with someone. Like, it's gonna take time.
It's gonna take time.
Like, I chose to do life with you, and I know you weren't perfect. I know you still had things you had to work on.
Absolutely. Maybe we have to do an episode on that. Now, I know we see the jokey jokes of people say, "I love you," but, and then they go on and say, you know what? We don't have to play that game, because that get a little dangerous.
Yeah.
But we can, if y'all are rocking with us and y'all want us to be very real about who we are and what we've been through, that this is what this episode was about.
Keep watching.
And we'll show you that we're not perfect people, but we love God, number one, and we love each other. We love ourselves to the point where it's like we don't want to harm the other person,
Like,
because of what we're capable of.
For sure. Like, for me, it's so deep. Like, see, some people might not think this is a big deal, but like, the old me used to be petty. Like, just
I
this
was petty
morning,
too.
like, I was like, I'm gonna cut up, because you were in the living room and I was getting breakfast ready. I was like, I'm gonna cut up my pancakes, and I looked at his and I was like, I'm like, he over there, he supposed to be over here. Then I was like, no, cut up his pancakes. You love him. Cut him up.
It'd be like
Make it
that.
easy.
I ain't know that.
But like, but even still, it's like, you know, I'm like, no, I do love this man. I know he's gonna appreciate me cutting up his pancakes. That's when it was just for a split second. I was like, he's supposed to be over here. I was like, no, you love him. Cut up his pancakes. He's gonna appreciate that. And that's in like what we talked about last night. Like, God has been moving in me to the point where if something like, the Holy Spirit is working in me so much. I'd be at the gym and somebody would leave stuff like a weight somewhere or a mat somewhere, and sometimes I don't even be over there, and God be like, go pick that up. I'd be like, it's 50 pounds. But he's like, go pick it up. That's you can do it. Somebody at this job can't. And somebody's on the end of the desk is gonna make them go, you know, just make somebody's job easier. So he'd be clothes on the floor in the store, and God would be like, pick that up. Like, stuff like that. Like, you know, but that's how much I love you. I'm like, no, he's gonna appreciate if I do this. He's gonna appreciate if I, you know, make sure his controller's on the charger. He's gonna appreciate if I, you know, because he doesn't like dust on the TV. I'll wipe the TV off, even though I don't care.
She's gonna appreciate if I wash the dishes and not just leave them out. She's gonna appreciate when I think about her rather than just letting her do everything. Even though I'm the man of the house, I don't have to live like a slob. I love her, and I want her to feel like I can contribute when I do, and I see it. If I see something, I do it. But I'm glad you was honest, because I ain't know. I'm gonna be. I'm on her like right on Weiss. But I'm gonna be on you for real, for real.
You funny. You're funny.
Yeah. So I hope that really helped so much. Put things in perspective. If you're single right now, you know, and dealing with some temptations, again, just love yourself. Okay. God is not beating you up. The world may be beating you up, and you know that you want to hold yourself accountable. Yes, do that, but love yourself still. Okay. If you're dating, I hope you're making the right decisions. And I say that lovingly, not, you know, judgingly. And if you're married, show your kids this. Okay? Because we're not real enough to say, you know, mistakes have been made, and yeah, we got to learn from them. This is why you need to date the right way. So yeah, I know we've been talking. See you on the next episode. We love you. Hope you have a great week. If you got some things to throw in the comments, do that. Like, share, subscribe. Dang, being a YouTuber, man.
Somebody being an easy man.
I'm just being real with y'all, but no, we love you. See y'all next time.